All right, and welcome back to Giangelo's here in Boardman. DJ Yoakley with you. Just big thanks to all the Raiders joining us here tonight. And it all makes way for the big guy. It's like when Santa Claus comes to town. It's David Rach, ladies and gentlemen, of the South Range Football Raiders. Coach, we talked about last week the challenges that you were going to face with a late non-conference game, which can be tricky, right? Because you guys are pegging on 9 and 10 for, 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden you get a non-conference game, which, for all intents and purposes, is tough to not just to plan for, because that other team that you play in Louisville, they're not in a conference.
Right.
Every game's a non-conference game for them. But for you guys, you're here, and it can be a little easy to take the foot off the gas, and it felt like that a little bit in the first half, but then the second half the Raiders come out and take care of business. What did you feel like on the sidelines? I mean, was there any of that, finding the emotion, finding that pop that you guys usually have?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think we come out and I think we score in 3 plays. So we had a fast start, and then, some of the things that have plagued us, all along. We didn't do a great job in the special teams early, and I think we end up with the ball on the ground at some point early in the game. We give up a big screen on I think 3rd and long. So. And credit to Louisville. They put us in some tough spots. And they made some plays. And, I think maybe we were a little bit impatient early, trying to, get out in front of them. And maybe that caused us to, maybe let our guard down a little bit. But I thought we did a good job of getting settled in and just, kind of trying to play our game and letting the game come to us a little bit more in the second half.
It felt like it was actually football season for the first time,
right.
I think. I mean, a little bit of a crisp chill in the air. I don't know what – but – I looked down at one point and saw the smile on your face as you were talking to your defense. I mean, does that change your mood too? Do you feel like football's here when it's not 89 degrees and you're playing in pads?
Yeah, I think, as the season wears on, I think you start maybe appreciating, the opportunity each week a little bit more.
Yeah.
Our guys, we've talked about it today as a football team, you're only guaranteed so many of these games. And, sometimes it's hard when you get caught up in the mix, of week to week and day-to-day operations. It's hard to take a step back and realize how much fun you're having and how lucky you are to be given that opportunity. So just trying to make a point to really take a step back and enjoy it as much as we can.
So when you look at this, you're 8-1 right now, right? There's a lot of naysayers at the beginning of the year saying South Range wouldn't get past 6 games. They'd be lucky to win 7. They're not going to win the NE8. You guys go to Hubbard, you stay home and you play Hubbard this week for the outright NE8 title. I mean, obviously, that was one of the first checks off the bucket list for this year. What does it mean to know that you guys manifested it and it's here to play for that opportunity?
Oh, it's something that we're really proud of, and I think, we're fortunate in that we know we'll be home again next week. But, for me, anytime you have senior night, it's an opportunity to, kind of pay your respects to the seniors and what a special group they've been. I mean, you're talking about a group that's 46-3, I believe. For a career right now, which is unbelievable. I think they're 26-0. If they win Friday, we'll be 27-0
Wow.
against the Northeast State. They'll be 4-time Northeast State champions. So to go undefeated against the Northeast State for your high school career is something that I don't know. When this league was formed, I don't know how many people thought that was possible. And for this senior group to be able to say that they were the ones that done that is really amazing. So, Friday we hope is going to be a celebration of them. And we've been stressing all week. Our goal Friday, and we've had a great week of practice, but our goal Friday is to go out and play our absolute best football. And we're treating it like our first playoff game and, going all the way down, through the pregame and the game week operations, just like we would for week 11 or week 16, last year. We're trying to throw all the records out and really send our seniors out the right way. And we're, I told the seniors it's really a senior parent night. We want to make sure we're thanking all the people that, have believed in our guys and made it possible for them to do what they love to do and allowed us to, as coaches, to coach them.
Hubbard's been one of those hot and cold teams, right? You really don't know what to expect on any given week. How do you prepare for a team like that when they look so different on any given game film?
Well, I think part of that's just being a young football team. I think they're starting 6 sophomores on defense, which is, we've been through growing pains, like that before. It's hard to remain consistent, I think, but we know we're going to get their best shot, and I think you have to prepare as if they're going to play their best football. Because I'll tell you, when they're at their best, they're a good football team. I think you saw it last week, holding Girard to 21. Really, I could argue it could have been 7. I mean, they did a nice job defending them, and they're doing a lot of good things offensively as well. So, for us, we know we're going to get their best shot, especially week 10, and
Sure.
so we're just doing everything we can to prepare and give ourselves the best chance of success on our senior night.
Do you believe, and I know some coaches don't, I don't think you and I have ever talked about it on air or off, do you believe in the trap game? Do you even believe in those games, or is that just kind of a fallacy for us people in the media to talk about?
You know what? I really don't. I guess it probably depends on the situation, but for us, I told our guys, like, every day, I don't want them to view practice as a responsibility. I want them to view practice as an opportunity to get better. And I told them our challenges as coaches and as players, our job is to see how good we can get and how high our ceiling can be. And every week, every day is an opportunity for us to show improvement and see how good we can be. And I don't know where that ceiling's at. None of us do. But I want to see how close we can get to it. So no matter who we're playing on a Friday night or what the situation is, that's our goal. We only get so many reps. We're going to try to get our money's worth.
You had a front row seat for Logan Butcher.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about how special that young man is.
Oh, he's incredible. I met him a couple of years ago through track season. He came out for track and gotten really close with him, got to know him well. And he's a special competitor, first-class kid. Our guys love him. His teammates love him. He's a great leader, and I think he's, a lot of times, when you get a guy that's, a multi-sport guy, you're always worried about how they'll fit in. And that's never been an issue with him. He's around our kids year-round, and he's, more than paid his dues. He does a great job. He's in the weight room. He's leading us. He's mixing it up, making tackles on kickoff, and he's made some really big plays for us throughout his career. So first-class kid and somebody that we're so fortunate to have on our team.
Being that we will have no show here on Halloween, giving everybody the night off, we got kids.
There you go, yeah.
We got to
right.
make sure that they get their trick-or-treat. What was your favorite part of Halloween, and what was your favorite costume?
My favorite costume was I dressed up one year as a Jack in the Box. So I just had like a big cardboard box, and I would go sit in the box, and then when they would open the door, I would pop out. So that was probably my favorite. And then my favorite part's probably the candy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really love going door to door. I was kind of shy about it, but I did like the candy, so that was worth it.
What was the worst Halloween costume you've ever had?
It's actually my dad and my brother the one year went as cows. Like my dad was an adult cow, and my brother Ryan was a younger cow. So they had like udders. It snowed that year. It would have been like 93, maybe 94. I don't know. But we had a bunch of snow, and my little brother was walking around. He's like a year or two old, and he's got udders flying around in the snow. So that was probably the worst one.
I love it. David Rock, everybody. This week, Hubbard. Congratulations. We'll see you next week for preview of week 1 of the playoffs. That's going to do it for our show here at Giangelo's. Thanks for everybody for coming out. Thanks to Lynn and Frank for taking care of us as always. The great servers, a round of applause for them. And we will see you this Friday at Rominger Stadium for South Range and Hubbard. Good night, everybody.